You ready? Okay. Go ahead, Nick. Good evening, everyone. And what? Hey. Welcome to Echo by BK Crypto. I am Kimberly Maltzby, joined by my co-host, Rashona Bennett. Hey. And we are honored that you are with us today. Online. I thought I turned it on. I did turn it on. That's what I'm saying. Test. Okay. We're almost there. You know? Test. How's that sound? I have a little technical difficulty. Oh, okay. I think I'm hearing myself now. Hey,
Yep,
see, now you guys can hear me. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, before we get started, if you're online, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend. You know, that way it will help us tremendously, and you can share some knowledge with somebody else, right? Okay. So we have some house cleaning to do, right? We want to let you know that we are coming to you live today from Nicholas, Brooklyn, located at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York. Nicholas, Brooklyn is the premier holistic wellness shop, which has been in operation for a remarkable 52 years. Located in Brooklyn's Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood, they are a community staple. With that in mind, we are calling on the community to show up. If you need anything, if you need to restock anything holistic wellness related, we're talking sea moss directly from the Caribbean island of St. Lucia, incense, candles, shea butters, bitters, crystals, all sorts of good stuff. So if you're looking for it in that space, come on down to Nicholas, Brooklyn, 1396 Fulton Street, and support this Brooklyn staple so they will be around for another 50 years, okay? Tonight, we are talking about the future of money, tech, and ownership with someone who's been building it for over 20 years. Please welcome Miss Aquarius Maximus, formerly known as Tavonia Evans. She is a graduate of Brooklyn Tech, right here where we are, right?
Yes,
Exactly. She is the founder of GuapCoin, one of the first cryptocurrencies created to empower the global African diaspora. She's a former AT&T and Department of Veteran Affairs software engineer, a White House champion for change for STEM, and just this April, she launched the Human Authorship Protocol, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, a new framework for protecting human creativity in the age of AI. Aquarius, thank you for being here today.
And everything black.
Exactly.
Everything.
And everything black. I was going to get to that a little bit. Okay. But, okay. So before we get into this wonderful conversation, one of the first things we always like to start off with are getting back to like your roots. You know, yes. Okay. You went to Brooklyn Tech, but how did that environment shape the way you see technology and opportunity?
Well, my entire life, it's just been a broad experience of globalness, I guess you could say. From like my family, you know, I have family that they're just all over, you know, all different cultures, you know, combined. And then I went to a high school where it's all different cultures, but you know, combined. Because at the time when I went there, it was very very diverse, you know, but equally diverse. So that got me to getting introduced to the global, you know, the global scene a little bit more, global intellects, you know, because in tech, we considered ourselves to be
global
and smart.
There they are.
So, but at tech, you could also be smart and you could be cool, right? You know, because I think that was more of a Brooklyn thing.
Absolutely.
You know? So this is how we do it. But I think we all kind of at Tech had big dreams, big goals. You will always talk to somebody at Tech that had very big dreams, very big goals. And a lot of people went on to do some big things from Tech. So I think that was kind of like real instrumental, because at that time I felt like there was something I needed to do and I wanted to do, but I still felt kind of disconnected from the whole. Like it's not here per se, but there's something. So, so that just kind of set me on my journey to like, really find myself and what I'm here to do.
And so I'll just go into this one here. So one of your early inventions, right, was guap coin.
Yeah.
And I heard we talked to you, God knows, so many years ago now.
I know, right?
Right? Exactly. And so what exactly,
right?
Exactly, really. So what inspired you? What got you into, because you were an early pioneer and exactly. You were early, exactly.
So when Bitcoin came out, I had a very good friend, Eric Duncan. I gotta say his name because he just really set me on a path for everything. He came to me and he was like, "This is you. This is what you should be doing," and sent me a Bitcoin wallet to download on my computer that took all day long.
I wish I had
to
Eric
sync.
Duncan in my life back then.
I should listen to Eric Duncan because I would have had a lot of money back then too. I mean, he hit me up with Bitcoin and all. God knows how many Bitcoin I had back then. If you asked, I was like, I don't know. But yeah, exactly. His was on his work computer. So that's like he lost his on the work computer. I was like, Lord, we all got Bitcoin stories. But he gave me the wallet. I downloaded it, but there was one thing missing that he didn't tell me. He's telling me tech again, and I'm into everything tech. I'm already doing tech, so it really didn't mean anything to me. He did not tell me it was money.
There we go.
So, and I tell him this to this day. I said that's why I start out telling everybody when it comes to crypto that it's money.
Yeah,
right.
Because somebody didn't tell me it was money. And if they had told me it was money, my life would be different right now.
I know that.
So when I finally did get it was I started my first startup. Well, I've done startups before, but I actually launched my first startup where I'm in startup accelerators where I'm pitching for money in 2014, and it was a platform called Safe to Meet. And what it was within 5 minutes or less, we had an algorithm to determine someone was safe, whether you was going to go out, you were going to meet with them, you were going to transact or whatever. And I was partnered with LexisNexis, lots of other stuff, right? And it was during that time, I'm on the road to trying to raise money. And I'm like, wow, that's when I found out, quote unquote, Black women don't get money. A lot of people pulled me in a room. We had a lot of potential conversations and this, that, and the third, and we were funding it all along the way. And I had a board of millionaires and billionaires. So I'm like, okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to get the money that I need to take this.
Absolutely.
Didn't. And a lot of other things happened, but I quit my own company. And that's when I started guap coin. Because I was like, we need money. We need our own money.
Our own currency.
We need our own currency. We have enough social capital to pour into something that could benefit us.
Absolutely.
And I look at it as social capital because, I come out of the hip hop space. I know a lot of celebrities, and I'm like, we got a lot of money floating around. This doesn't make sense that we don't have the money to put into Black tech. So that was where I was with that.
Passion. Beautiful. Most definitely. You're so colorful, so bright, and so dynamic, and I love that. Because we need to see each other. On the screen and everywhere, real life. And so, coming alumni myself from Fulton Tech, I've always followed you. And what's fascinating about you is your integration. And so your integration from your tech to your AI to astrology, right? And so for me and for us, when we talk about money, there's so many dimensions to money. But you, being you, Aquarius Maximus, could really break down the dynamics of what's missing for people not understanding. So you bring that in from the blockchain aspect, from the astrology aspect. And so we're in this time now, dynamically, in a full moon.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Full moon. Mercury retrograde. Mercury's going retrograde. Yeah.
So you can speak to, for me, many people.
Yeah.
And so through your integration, what is it that you want to say that at this particular time that makes it urgent to really follow the path of your wealth building, understanding the technology that we're in, and that you're supposed to be part of it, but also how it's going to benefit communities.
Well, the issue in our community is for a long time, we've been taught that there's a separation between spirituality and money. And that they're two separate things. They can't coexist, and one is evil and one is not. And that's not true. So we need more. Of course, a big part of me is educating people about the origin of technology, origin of money even. You know, I started out with Coin, and one of my first slides, and this is traveling in Europe and speaking in Europe and stuff like that, but one of my first slides was about the king that got paid, had to pay his taxes, 33 million calories. And that the original symbol for money in Mandarin is a cowrie.
Yes.
And cowries come from the bottom of the ocean. And the connection that we have to the creation of money as a whole, because we're caught up in this whole capitalism, and we're looking at capitalism as an institution, but we're looking at the people who represent capitalism. And then we're looking at capitalism as this evil structure because of the people who have done evil within the structure. So we're having a spiritual crisis when we're having a financial crisis. And we have to, in order to get over that spiritual crisis, in order to get over that financial crisis, we have to know the history of things, and we have to know the connection of things. And we absolutely need to know that money is not evil, and that it comes in many forms. There's all types of transactions that take place, transactions of value. And, you know, I've recently been talking about Chiron moving into Taurus. Taurus is resources and money. Chiron is healing and the wounded healer. So this is a time period where we're likely going to undergo a healing in our values and in our resources, and then start demanding what's owed to us in terms of debt.
Absolutely.
Because debt is how things move on this planet. And you have to know, and you have to step up and collect it, you know, or else no one's just going to give you. They're not going to just repay the debt just off of GP, or they're going to give you little bits because of the guilt. They'll give you little bits, you know, but you want the whole thing. You want to step up and you want to collect what's owed to you. And then only then can we come into an egalitarian place where fairness is across the board, and now we can move forward. So there's a lot of different things. And I guess I kind of come in a little bit of a difference because I come from the technology, but I also come from the spiritual. And I was told that that's what I was supposed to do, both. I was supposed to show how both of them come together. And that there's not a separation between, and there's not even a separation between AI. AI is in that as well. So, you know, when I talk about AI, I talk about binary. I talk about the earlier divinations, which are communication systems that were done with binary. I am a priestess. So when we throw things like cowrie shells or Pele or whatever, open and shut, zeros and ones and binaries and technology, 256 to be exact, which started computers, which there would be no AI if it were not for that.
Absolutely.
So people need to know these things. And if you spend too much time on social media, which is heavily controlled and wants to keep you in the dark so that you could stay a consumer, we have to get people out of these places so that they can know the truth about these things and not be caught up in these viral campaigns to get us off track, and we lose being able to show up to market with these things and actually just reclaim it. So we can just go there, and that's what they don't want. They don't want us to show up and reclaim it, because that's what we do when we go places. We reclaim it, and then they feel like they lost. So therefore, you know, but this is what we have to do.
Profound.
You mentioned AI, and a lot of people are fearful of it right now. And so I'm wondering, what message would you give to people who are fearful of it, and they're trying to understand how they can really utilize it, and if they should? The
funny thing is, this is how Black folks are. We scared on the outside, but we at home doing it on the inside. You know what I mean? So we scared to put our whole chest on it. So yeah, I'm doing it. you know, but we at home, we on Chat GPT, we on this, and the kids are all over it,
Right.
you know, so we cannot reconcile that, you know, we are the ones that take these things viral, you know, so obviously if these things are becoming popular, it's because we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's the only way,
Everything.
because we're spreading the word, because that's what we do, you know, but we have to remove the fear of loss, which is a Chiron and Taurus, because the thing is, what are you losing? You know what I mean? Like, you're literally, what are you losing? You're not losing anything. So we have to dispel those fears, because that's what they're going to try to propagate in the internet. They want us to be scared. Just like I tell everybody now, they want you to be scared of Lake Lanier. Why? Because they don't want you going back and taking that land. They don't want you going back and taking it back. So it's in their benefit that you're afraid of it. It's in your benefit that you're feared, all of these fear stories, that you stay in fear, because that's how they did. They had the KKK for that originally, to get you off the land and make you scared. So now we have the internet KKK to make you scared of everything.
I love this. So because you are a person that's integrated, I want to speak on what was your aha moment with blockchain, because I love blockchain, right?
Ooh,
but when you right, because
yeah, I had an aha moment.
We got a colorful guest, and this is why it's important. Nothing is separate. But when you did first see it as more than speculation, as a tool for liberation,
I'll tell you my exact aha moment. My exact aha moment, when I had to sit there and calculate future inflation, right? And I did it. Someone gave me a legal pad and said, you're going to do this with a legal pad. And we were calculating, because back then we really wanted to know, it's like, okay, we really want to know that how inflation is going to impact this. Is this going to totally devalue us? Are we going to crash in 4 or 5 years because of inflation? Now, mind you, I'm not at that time, I didn't consider myself to be a financial person, right? Like, I didn't. I became a financial person overnight, you know, calculating and doing all these papers. But I went so deep into it. And I went so deep, even into the technology, even into the blockchain. I built my blockchain. It got stuck a couple of times. Literally went to other people. I said, okay, I know everything, but I don't know this. I need you to work with me on this. Nobody would, right? Somebody came to me out of the dark web.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know who this person was, and literally taught me everything I had to do for nothing. I did not pay them anything. I got a sense that they was African. I got a sense that they might have been Nigerian.
Of course.
That's why I was like, this person is Nigerian. Because when I was a coder, I always used to know who I was dealing with. I dealt with Germans. I dealt with whatever. Yep. You could tell by the code that you're working with and the way that they do things. And I was like, this person is Nigerian. I swear to God.
Right.
But that person said, because he came to me and I was like, oh, okay, so you're going to do this? He was like, oh, no, you're going to do it. So it was things that happened in my life. It was so mystical. You know what I mean? I was like, this is the most mystical crap I've ever heard in my life. Like, you literally going to tell me what to do. You're going to teach me and I got to do it. And I did it. So I built it, and then I had to pull the plug on it. And that was even harder. So I was like, I don't want to put this out here. And then something happens. And then, you know, it's just like, poof, you know. So then I had to deal with the perfectionism that we have.
Yes.
As Black people. That is our biggest killer, is perfectionism. Perfectionism brings poverty.
Peek on it.
Perfectionism. The fact that, and this is something you learn when you're in tech as a Black person, you learn that, because perfectionism doesn't belong in tech. You can't be in tech if you're a perfectionist.
Absolutely not.
And I've worked for the government. I've had them hand me over top secret tech. You got to work on this. I'm like, really? Literally, you giving me this? Like, you know, you want me to do this by myself? You know, they're like, hey, yeah, here's your laptop. Here's your security clearance. Do what you do. And I'm like, wow. And that breaks the perfectionism, because in our community, we're gonna be like, oh no, you're not qualified to do this. Oh no, you might look what might happen. They may kill you. Oh my gosh.
Right.
You know, all of these things that you get in the Black community. But when you step out into tech and you're just amongst, you don't get that, because everything is beta in tech.
Right.
Nothing is a final. You're still getting updates on Windows if you have Windows. You're still getting updates on Mac.
Absolutely.
It does not stop. It's a never-ending cycle of things that are imperfect.
I know you guys question too, but I just want to spin on that too.
Go ahead.
Because the perfection alleviates the progression, right?
Yes.
And when we think about that, that things are constantly evolving. I think this is one of the messages that we're talking about when it comes to blockchain and AI, and even investing in finances.
Yes.
And even in our experience, most people will not jump in because they say it's too late, or they're watching, they're going to learn first. And I want you to kind of like talk about that, because we've tried, and it is, you become passionate for your community. But you just said a whole mouthful about tech is about evolution. Humans are about evolution. So when are we going to start? Can you just talk about that?
Absolutely. I mean, a big problem is we listen to the lies that they tell us about where they are and how far they are along on anything. And if you go on YouTube, likely you're going to hear a lot of BS. It's so funny because I have an agent, right? Sometimes I don't have no time to watch stuff, so I get my agent on it to watch it for me. And the agent's like, oh, no, he's BSing. this is not even, one of my agents. So he's like, oh, he's BSing. He's just bloating this up so he could get views and stuff like that. And I just die laughing, but it's true. 99% of that stuff is not, it's a lie, because they have investors. So they have to make their investors think that they've made progress, that they're going to continue to make progress. So they will gas up all on the internet and say, we're this far ahead. And next year we're going to reach AGI, and next year there's going to be that. And then the king of that has been Elon Musk. We know he was lying and lying. I remember when Elon Musk was trying to hustle money because he didn't have no money. I remember when he was doing Doge. Yes. He was pumping Doge and dumping Doge because he didn't have no money. I knew people who hung out with him, hip hop people who's hanging out with people smoking weed and all this other stuff, and now he's a trillionaire. Come on now.
Tell us, sister.
So when you're behind and you get to see that they are lying. Right. So you are not behind. You are not as behind as you think you are. Jump in the game now. You're not. All of that stuff that they're saying, the trillionaire, where they look, you done dumped all of the stuff already that they threw in it to make them a trillion. It's lies.
So for someone in the audience who hears the term blockchain and they feel like, oh my God, it's over my head, how do you explain what blockchain is and does to the average everyday individual?
Well, blockchain is our best bet for transparency.
Yep.
That's what it is. And I say it's our best bet to see the movement of data. It's our best bet to make a collection, because the software itself is supposed to be transparent. You're supposed to put that software and you create that blockchain. That blockchain is supposed to be up there so everybody can read the terms of right there. Yeah. There's nobody that's supposed to be able to without the community knowing, or pull the rug without the community. People, they learned about the rug pulley stuff, but they haven't learned about the real technology behind it and the real platform behind it, because that's not fun. That's not exciting. Of course, tell somebody, oh, you can make a bunch of money and this, that, and the third. And this is why it's taken me this long, because I don't tell people that. I'm like, if you're trying to make a bunch of money, you need to go somewhere else, because you ain't going to get it here right now, because I don't even have it. If I get my money, they see me I'm a hustler. They see me do 10,000 other things. Why you think I'm doing 10,000 other things? Because I'm trying to finance what I'm doing here.
Right. What matters, legacy.
Exactly. And to be honest, I've made more money in my tech jobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I really wanted to make money, I wouldn't be doing this. Not right now. But what it gives us an opportunity is to build
Right.
an ecosystem, the very thing that we have been trying to do. It gives us the opportunity to build so that we can deal with one another, because we don't trust each other. So we need a way that we can trust one another. People look at it and they see the anonymity of blockchain crypto. That's not for us, that's for them. They need anonymity. We don't. We need transparency. That's what we need. We don't need anonymity. Our stuff is all out there. Everybody know our business. Family know the business. Nobody's trying to hide nothing in the community, really. We need transparency. And that's what it is.
So speaking about transparency and just birthing and what you have been birthing, share with the audience why you've created Guapcoin, how they can utilize it. Those who have businesses, your business that you created with the search engine that's for predominantly Black businesses, which I think is amazing. And to speak on your AI agent. I just think you're amazing. And I just think more of us need to really see that we, behind the scenes and in front of the scene, look like us. I think this is why we're also having this to echo to the community that we also are doing it too, and it looks like us.
Yeah.
It is so important.
Yeah. I think we're amazing. So that's why I'm here. Like, I'm our biggest fan. That's why I do what I do. Like, seriously, that's what keeps me here. I think, man, incredible. The things I've gotten to see, people I've gotten to know. I mean, I know so many smart people. I meet more smart people every day. Like, you know what I mean? And I just get excited because I know that we're geniuses and that we're problem solvers, and we can solve the problems that we have. But we have to also involve the faith aspect of it. We have to take a leap of faith in order to get there. Yes, it's going to be mistakes. There's going to be problems. I got people that hate me one minute, love me the next, and I learned that with kind of being like a tech celebrity, you know what I mean?
Right, yes.
Like, you got people, they love you, and then you got people, they won't like you because somebody else said this, and next thing you know, you got a whole group of people that can't stand you. You know what I mean? That's life, because they can't understand that without failure, there is no success.
Right. Absolutely.
You gotta have failures. I'm gonna have failures. I have stuff that I hit myself sometimes. Like, why did I do that? But I wouldn't be here if I didn't do that. If I didn't make that mistake, I wouldn't know the next step and where I'm going. And in tech, you sit there, you get a problem, something goes down, and that's been a beautiful thing about the blockchain, because our blockchain is going down. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, is it over? No, I'm gonna sit here and try to fix this. You know what I mean? Like, oh heck no. I'm gonna sit right here. Because I have been footing the bill of servers, hundreds of servers. I have hundreds of servers. And I've been footing the bill of servers for 7 to 8 years. Sometimes the money ain't there. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, God, you really gonna let these servers go down like right now? Like, you gonna bring us something magical to bring these servers back? I've lost servers a couple of times, hundreds. Then I had to rebuild all the way back up. Every last server sit in front of there. But I realized it's putting me in that gives me the drive to continue. Like, it's something about being in it. It's like, it's in it with your kids, like you raising them and and you got to rebuild and bring it back up and do what you have to do. I've never quit. You know what I mean? And there's been time, I'm not gonna lie, that's another part of it. You think that, some people have asked me, it's like, well, what do you want to do in the future with Guapcoin? I want to retire. And then they'll be like, oh, so you mean you're gonna rug pull and I'm like, I've been doing this straight. I've had sleepless nights. People know I don't get no sleep. People know they call me at midnight because they know I'm up working. Or I'm sleeping with my computers. I got 3 computers in my bed with me. Why wouldn't I want to retire? I'm like, that's what I want to do. I'm doing this so that I can pass this on so I can retire. So when they asked me that, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do no more of this.
Well, I know you the truth because, what was it, 2018, 2019? D. Duncan brought you to BK Crypto just started too. We were babies. And we were just looking for just talent and just to talk to other minds. And I remember being on the phone with you with myself, Kim, Dylan, D. Duncan, I think Ansel, and you were literally raising funds for Guap. That's how I know you legit. Like, 7 years later, and we're here. This is why this is special for us, because you never gave up. And we talk about the big boys; they've been doing the same thing, but we don't get the hooray, the support that's required behind the scenes. But this woman has been doing the same thing that every other inventor or tech person has been doing behind the scenes. You're just not hearing it.
Right. I've seen something go from 0 to a valuation. Literally, this has a value now. This is valued on the markets. So when you see that, you're like, oh yeah, it could work. Like, this has a value. I've had guap people who came in early in guap. They used guap to build a whole crypto portfolio, and eventually maybe sold it, but made like 50 to 75 grand off of the maybe $1,000 worth of guap they had.
We were in that
time. I lost all my guap because I was giving it away. I was doing this and doing that, and I have no more. But there was an early guap investor. She got 20 masternodes. She got millions of guap coins, and I turned around and bought. I gave her $50,000 in USD to re-up my guap coin.
Wow. That's wow.
And then, mind you, she done made whatever money she initially invested in off of that.
So let's bring that in a simple layman terms. Let's just change into language people understand, whether you do it through stocks. Because some people are like, what do you mean she gave $50,000 for USD and for guap coin? We're going to break it down for you. Break it down so they can understand what you did.
So basically, it's going to have a valuation, right? So that means if I go back to somebody and I'm saying, hey, I need guap coin, I felt like I really joined the community because I'm starting from scratch, just like everybody else is. So I got some money. I don't remember where the money came from, but I said, I got to re-up from guap. Let me call her up. So whatever the value on the market was, that's what I had to pay her. And of course, because I was buying a tremendous amount, she gave me a good discount. You know, I'm sure she gave me a lot of extra, but she was happy. She was like, okay. You know what I mean? And I always brag about her story. She's a customer service supervisor at Xfinity. And she had the fortitude to buy masternodes from me. And she didn't just buy 1, 2, she came back and bought 20.
Beautiful.
And we still talk every other day because that's the person who called me. What you doing? You know you gotta do this. Don't quit.
Right.
Don't give up. You know where you at. You said you was gonna do this. You're gonna do this. I have people that do that to me all around. They always can contact me. I don't hide. I'm not Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm not anonymous. Every so often I do change my phone number because I get overwhelmed. Like literally, because I'll call people on my phone and have long conversations about crypto and guap. There was a gentleman that called me when we first launched. He was 80 years old. And we used to talk a lot. He would call me. He's like, I want to open up some laundromats and I only want to accept guap. That was another thing. And he was a jack of hearts too. I felt like I would go certain places, and here's the spiritual aspect. I'm all over the world. And when I'm talking, I was talking in Toronto one day. I was at Shopify headquarters talking about blockchain. I come down off the stage. This old Black man comes up to me and says, don't you ever give up. Then I go somewhere else. I go to Germany. Ain't no Black people in sight like that. Black man come up to me and says, don't you ever give up. And that has happened to me so many times that become my motto. I was like, okay, I know I can't give up.
Right.
I have to keep going. And I'll admit, at first, I was a little blue. I didn't think it was going to be as hard as it wound up being. But nobody does. That makes it where they're going. They never know it's going to be that hard. And I think that's where the astrology and the cardology has helped me.
Beautiful.
Because 7 years ago, this astrologer, she wrote an article and it was published, I think, in some big major place. And she said that the crypto that was going to wind up being the crypto was going to be created by a woman.
Wow.
Let's go. I am the only woman to this day that has created a crypto, a blockchain, myself with my own hands. And knowing that, and knowing my own natal chart, know I got $1 billion aspect. I got Jupiter in conjunct Pluto 0 degrees that only billionaires have.
Listen,
I'm gonna keep it going.
Your heart is beautiful.
Ownership.
Mhm.
So with you focusing on ownership,
Yep.
AI data ownership.
Yes.
Okay. Like, can you explain to the audience the significance of that and this?
Absolutely, because data is currency.
Yep. Absolutely.
Data is the most valuable currency now.
People are giving
Flowing away. Right. Right. Exactly. I was speaking one time at a crypto conference down in St. Kitts. This is where I got to meet all of the legends in crypto. And I was like, look at me. I'm with the legends. I must be a legend.
You are.
You know, when you with legends, you like, okay, maybe I'm a legend too. But, and I'm the only woman here. But a gentleman was speaking about data, and he was talking about how there's a big hole, a hole of data that is so valuable. And it is the reason why they can't fully move forward on a lot of the things that they move forward. And he said, do you know who that data belongs to? I said, Black people. Yes. That is the data that was so valuable at the time. And it was about maybe 2017, 2018. So it was no chat GPT or whatever. So what they do is they give you these things free, the social media, the this, the that, so that they could collect your data for free. So that they could fill these holes that they have, so they could sequence this genetics, this DNA that they need to have in order to build the perfect machine. Because they can't move forward with things. You know, I remember a time, again, it's getting a little better, but I remember a time where they couldn't do facial recognition because facial recognition doesn't work very well with Black people. Correct. So they need more data points. Now they want to put out robots. So they trying to give everybody free a cheap robot. I'm signing up for mine too, but now they're trying to, they got, they're getting robots because the robots have to be trained in real life situations. So they're constantly having to train, and there's still an incredible amount of data and knowledge that they do not have. There's still that. So that shows you again how powerful, how valuable that is. But you already have a debt with me. You already owe me money, and now you're digging yourself further in the hole. Because now I'm giving you data for absolutely free. You know what I mean? And I should have the benefits of all those things that are created from the data, just like Henrietta Lackey, right? I should benefit from that. You know, we should benefit from that. There's no way that we should have the impoverishment we have when we are responsible for the social media as it is, as it was, and where it's going. Because if you take us off of social media, there is no social media.
Right. Yep.
What is there?
Right.
What is there? It's not interesting. It's none but Facebook when it was in what do you call it, in Harvard.
That's
the book.
The universities.
Yes.
The book.
Right.
You know, so data is like extremely important, and we have to own it. We have to feel like we want to own it. Right. But it's not like, well, I'm going to pull it back and not do nothing. Pull it back and put it into your own container. And this is where building our platforms, like Everything Black, like what I bought, this is about building our platforms, taking our data and putting it, because once you take that data over there, then guess how valuable you are. Guess how much you're worth now.
Is that why they're having so many lawsuits with Google and these other companies for taking our data without permission?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of litigation going on right now because now it's Saturn in this space now. Because again, Saturn deals with debt. Got to pay up these debts. You got to distribute this better than what you were doing, you know, or you're not going to move on with those crazy ideas you want to do. Right. You got all these crazy ideas that you said we're going to be able to do, but you can't, because nobody can cross that ceiling of debt without paying their debts. Not even me. If I got, a lot of us think we're like, because I'm struggling with debt, and they don't think about the collective. Right. They think like it's a personal thing, like it's only me. Why they always picking on me? And it's not the case. Everybody has to deal with this. Like everybody has to deal with this energy, including them. And they may be on another level where you're thinking of in terms of their value and how much they've collected. But again, they want to go further. Like there's an end game to where they want to go to. Now they're at their end game. And can they get over? No.
And is that why they're building these data centers?
Data centers are for military.
Oh, okay.
That has nothing to do with AI. That's another lie. Because AI doesn't need all of those data centers. And it doesn't need to be in a dirty way neither, because in China, they're building sustainable data centers. They're building data centers underwater, which is cool by the water. So they're constantly cool. So now they're pumping out models, data models. They're pumping out LLMs every day. They got coming out with a new LLM or new capabilities and all this other stuff because they're doing it the proper way. Now they want to do a number of things with us, eugenics and all this other stuff. So why not put all of this stuff in a place where we can also meet our eugenics goals and kill them at the same time or make them sick? But these are military installations. I don't know if you've been following recently where they've been given, these data centers have now been given a military status so they can't be sued. But it's it's already true because they're building these and they're building highly capable weaponry. They're building, and it's sad for me because, I'm in the metaverse as well, and I build worlds and stuff like that. So the founder of Oculus has been building military weapons since he left Oculus. And now he has one of the biggest contracts with the Department of Defense because he's building drones, and stuff like that. So they're building all these things for war. They're preparing for war. The war that they know that they're creating.
Yeah, but how long is that going to, is that perpetual until infinity?
That's how they make money.
Wars, yeah, exactly. But again, we look at these people as though they're not human beings and they're not afraid. We look at them as though they're all powerful and then they couldn't possibly be afraid. These people are afraid of everything from aliens to beings to interdimensional beings to humans they have so many fears.
Right.
So these fears, they got plenty of money.
Absolutely.
So what do you think they're going to do? That one of these paranoid people get into power, they're going to build weaponry. And that's what they're doing. They're building weaponry, and they need these data centers to power this weaponry.
And now they're offering the data centers on people's homes now too.
Yes. Yeah. But distributed is good.
Okay.
Concentrated is not.
Okay.
Distributed is how blockchain works. Blockchain is a distributed ledger, meaning parts of it lives all over different places. Right. So this is all about the decentralization of things and moving into the Aquarius age where things are not concentrated into power, like the concentration of power. This is distributed power.
Right.
So anything you see that attempts to work in a distributed manner, that's actually how we should be going. We should be going in distributed power. I remember a project we were doing with Guapcoin at one time. I had a colleague that built a power system that runs nodes in your house, so your nodes pay your bill.
Right.
So that's something that we were trying to get off and work that relationship with them. But it's like way too early even to try to tell this to people. You know what I mean? But distributed power, distributed things, this is where we're moving into. So yeah, you may have a house one day that has a built-in, something that's a part of a bigger network. Because this is the network.
Right.
This is, yes, exactly. But these are things that we could be doing. But of course, they're going to beat us to the punch and do it. But you can't, at this point, you can't cry about it, but you need to look and see how we need to adopt distributed models in our community. Like even Guap. My first thing with Guap is I wanted businesses to run nodes. I wanted businesses to run validators. This is something that we have called validators. Yeah. We're going to need a human. See, in my world of AI and blockchain, we co-work. We work together with technology, right? So that means that if we setting up governance, we don't just totally rely on governance on chain or anything like that. People are going to need people. You know, so we need a level of governance that also exists outside of the chain. This is just the beginning of, this is the boundaries that we set up. But then finally let the humans be the final governance, because by that time it's going through the system, and now we have a better chance of having a fair outcome that everyone will agree on. And this is a part of distributed governance. So these are all of the things that we've been working on over the years. I've been working on something called SOV ID, which I'm now focusing more on GWAP ID, because we're going to have ID.
Right.
Women need ID. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, we need ID. And some people is like, I don't want to give up. I told you, that's their world. They want to be anonymous. We want transparency.
Right. So
transparency will work for us. I don't know how long we have to have it, but we need to have it for a little bit at least. But having ID, you're going to have ID, because you got children, you got this, you got that. You know what I mean? You need some type of identification to chain danger and all of this other stuff to individuals, to even hold them accountable. How are you going to hold them accountable if they just keep switching identities?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Digital ID.
Yeah, digital identities.
Correct.
So we're moving to digital identities.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to go.
Yeah.
You know, so of course we don't have the tapped in system where they're, you know, tracing you everywhere and all this other stuff, but you have to believe in what you have.
Absolutely.
And you set up. Just because you don't have, you know, I've always been taught about looking on the other side, see what they got on the other side. The grass is greener.
Right.
Look at what they got.
Right.
Look at what they got. I would not be here if I looked at what other people got. When I started Guapcoin, it was not too long afterwards, someone else came and started a black crypto. And I'm not even going to say their names or whatever, but they started black coin after that. Took away all of the people that, you know, I'm trying to build this with or whatever. I'm fine. You know, I talk to Spirit. Spirit's like, keep on doing what you're doing. Are they here now? No. Are they here? No. They didn't last too long, actually. So that's what taught me that you can't be sitting here looking at what other people are doing and what they have. You got to keep focusing on what you're doing and keep investing your energy and all that. And especially, you know, that's why you also have to have value in yourself. There are certain things I know about myself you can never take away from me. I know how smart I am.
Absolutely.
I know how capable I am. You can never take that away from me. You're going to have to throw me in a river somewhere, because I am not bending to that. You know, I'm the formula. You that formula too, but I'm the formula of the energy that I was born with. Absolutely. And that's my stubbornness right there.
Right.
But I have to hone that in, because to be able to deal with my people, I have to have a tremendous amount of humility. I'm here to serve y'all.
Absolutely.
I may have a lot, but I'm in service. You know, Virgo rules my 7th house of other people and relationships. And Virgo is about being of service.
Absolutely.
So I we got Virgos in the house. Virgos in the house. But it is about being of service, and it is the house of the humble. And the crazy thing is, I yell at Spirit all the time. It's like, why are you gonna put my Leo in the house of the of the humble?
That's funny.
I have a debilitated Leo. So you got to drag me out the house to go speak to people, because I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be in front of people.
Right, but we need you to be.
But you got to drag me out the house because you put my Leo in the debilitated house. Come on now. So I had these discussions. I'm like, you know, what gives?
They want to challenge you.
It is a challenge. Because I told my mother, I mean, I love my people, but I don't like people.
Oh, it's not always say that.
I love my people. I always tell you I'm blackity black. I love black. If you was gonna take that away from me, I can't be here. This is where I want to be. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't necessarily want to be in y'all face 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be home by myself. You know? Yeah, exactly. Me and my computers and the kitties. Love the kitties, the grandkids, the nieces. Oh man, that's my place.
Well, we are glad that we're able to get you to be seen, and we want to talk about more about what you're actually doing for the community and talk about your projects. But I also want to say this, something that you said about serving. A gentleman said to me, I was at an event, and he says, we got it all wrong. When we assimilate into, let's just say, white America, their king and queendom is about people serving them.
Right.
When we go in a Black community, when we talk about king and queens, it was always about serving the people.
Yes.
And so when we understand that what you said, we can get back what appears to be normal. We got to come back to what our original state is. And so with that expression, share with us what you're doing for the community. You have the Guap coin, but you also are teaching, educating the community with your AI agents. I think you have a boot camp coming up as well. And also about this B2B, this Black business, because we do need, I'm not going to go deep into it, but we're very passionate. Yeah. We can talk about segregation, integration, right? All the good stuff. But spiritually now, we're coming back in this synergistic segregation that is important for us. Mm-hmm. We need to support us first in order to move out. Yes. We need to be the drip to the ripple effect, and it has to be this.
Yes, absolutely.
So share with us how we can expand in your B2B Black business that you created.
Exactly, because it's from a tech perspective, we approach everything like a sandbox. We have a sandbox, you know what I mean? And we want a sandbox. That's actually something I wrote to the government when I wrote to the SEC, and they had highlighted on Forbes and stuff like that. But a lot of people didn't get to read that article. But I was like, we need our own financial sandbox. We need our own financial sandbox. And y'all are at the point where that's what you're giving people with crypto. And with crypto, you are allowing financial sandboxes. We currently now have an act that they're, the Clarity Act, all these different things. I remember when a lot of these things were being born because I'm in politics as well. And I was there. They called me. And said, "Wow, how do you feel Black people are going to adopt to this?" That's the questions they asked.
Good question. Mm-hmm.
And because I had the title Blackity Black everywhere. So yes, I'm not afraid to talk about Black people with white people, so, but they're like, and I'm like, we need a financial sandbox. So they're talking about giving in blockchain. They're talking about giving, and this is something that Hester Pierce, the former commissioner, I think she's still a commissioner at the SEC. She was like, and they call her crypto mom, and she's really cool anyway. But she was like, well, we need to give projects at least 3 years to adequately decentralize. So what that means is when you first launch a project, it's centralized because I'm running everything. You know what I mean? And it's like your mission should be to work towards decentralizing it. And I'm going to tell you, with Black folks, we need more than 3 years. You know what I mean? And I told her that. I was like, 3 years ain't gonna do it. I'm already in year 5, 6, 7, whatever. Because you gotta know that this is yours. That's what decentralized mean. I still go to places and people say my crypto, your crypto. And I said, no, it's our crypto. It's our blockchain. It's not mine. And I'm not trying to just push it off on you because it's evil. This is how it goes. Decentralized. You can do whatever you want on Guapcoin. You could do whatever you want with it. I can't even stop the criminals on the street from using Guapcoin because guess what? Money is money. Right. And you can't stop nobody from using money.
Absolutely not.
And this is what they're doing with the dollar. And you have to break the dollar. You have to break Black people from something that they just started getting. Like they new millionaires and billionaires, the kids on the street with the dollars on social media. This is hard. You got to tell them that, hey, they're about to cut that off. That's about to be worth nothing.
Yep. They don't.
I sat in front of
don't get it.
Some street people. So after I gave my speech, one of the things he came up to me, he's like, so how long do I got? And I was like, bruh, you ain't got long. Because see, this is the thing. You're going to have to account for that money when you turn it in for the digital money.
Right.
So when you turn that money in that you got that cash, you're going to have to give it to your friend so that he could claim it. And your friend said, I want 50% of that money that you're going to claim, and you're going to wind up with 25% left. Because he's going to come in and say, this is my money. And he was like, I never thought of that. And this is the thing. Bitcoin started on the streets.
Yes, it did.
Bitcoin started with the criminals.
Yep. Gaming.
Don't let them say anything. All of them white boys, I was walking around with Lambos and all these other things and stuff like that. I tell them, I said, look, y'all talking about what we need to know? The streets already knew Bitcoin.
Yep. They had them in the stores. They've been in
They already knew. The kids already knew. The teenagers already knew. The scammers already knew.
The dark web.
Yes, exactly. They already knew. You know what I mean? So, and for a long time, I wanted to maintain my integrity with Guapcoin. You know what I mean? I was like, people have come to me all over. Okay, we could do this and we could do that. And none of them had a stitch of any type of integrity in they sock. You know what I mean? I could smell the scabs everywhere, you know? So I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. I got to maintain this. Now I'm here. I'm at year 8 and going on 9 and I'm pushing it out to the world. You do what you do. That's where I'm at right now, because we have to get in our minds that this dollar is going away. And it's ticking. If you somebody that deals with international money, even I deal with most of my money is in euros because I got servers in Europe, stuff like that. I got to think in euros, and then I'm like, dang, I got this in dollars, and I got to pay for this in euros. This don't match. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and when people stop accepting this money, like, you know, we got our president about to put his picture on it. That's definitely going to stop people from accepting the money. I say that's an omen that this money is now dead.
Dead.
That is the omen. I told him, I said, oh, it's a wrap. That's why they're doing this. They're going to let him put his face on it because it's dead. It's done. So you better start, symbolic astrology.
Yep.
I know his card. I know his
Gemini,
natal chart.
yep.
I know what he brings. So we moving out of the metal age. We're in the age bear. Let me tell you something. Them kids out there in the street, they ain't gonna want to be carrying no gold coins and silver coins around to for nothing. They were already born in the age of air. Right,
doing it in other countries.
But look, the phone is gonna go away, and we're gonna have air technology in a minute. The phone is just now. That's gonna elevate to something else. Yes, and the thing is, these robots that are out here, how they gonna spend money?
Right, the digital money.
They're going to be spending money on behalf of you.
Yep.
How are you going to hold land?
How are you gonna what?
Tokenize it.
Land.
Tokenize it. There you go. She know.
You know,
Which is more equitable. Which is more
which is what
equitable.
we're looking for.
Yeah.
You already know it's going to happen.
Tokenize the land itself.
Yeah, they already
Yeah,
have
they have it.
tokenized. I just came back from Davos, the World Economic Forum. The biggest topic we were talking about was the tokenization of everything, which is old.
It's
We've been
old.
talking about that for a long time,
Absolutely.
but they ready for it now.
Yep.
That is what that was all about. People thought that was about GIFs and all this.
Nope.
No, that's about ownership.
Ownership and hiding their gems and money behind
Yes,
it.
this is about ownership and being able to share and distribute ownership. Because if I have a tokenized asset now, I can take and divide that with other. I can give people percentages of that tokenized asset. They can do whatever they want to do with it.
Yep.
It's much easier.
So forgive me.
No, it's to be on. Yes.
So if I own
Come to the mic, please. Thank you.
if I own a few parcels of land, you're saying I'm going to take these parcels of land, I'm going to turn it into a token?
Yes.
A representation
Yeah.
of it.
Representation.
Yes.
Representation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like they have papers now, like trusts, they're going to still file a paper.
Well, I understand trust. Trust, I can go for trust.
Yeah, but the trust isn't really trust because somebody holding that trust document somewhere, right? But on the blockchain,
In the safe.
you're holding it. You think it's safe when a tornado comes rolling through there or something takes it from you.
Multiple safes in multiple areas.
Okay, but it's just easier to have a digital representation of that can be held by your whole family everywhere, wherever they are. They can have a piece of that.
So a token isn't like a coin.
No.
The token is metaphorically.
It's not even metaphorically, because most of the transactions you are conducting now are digital.
Yes.
Correct.
Nobody is doing pure cash transactions anymore. And that's going little by little. There's even places that don't even accept it anymore.
Mhm.
That's pretty sad.
We have a member who does
Thank you.
a blockchain notary.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there are
I think-
many
I
other
think-
countries
you can
that
come
don't
up.
use.
You want to say
Let
something?
me
Don't
tell you
use
something.
cash.
Let me tell you something. As on my spiritual side, as a priestess, if they got me doing this, they're like, cash ain't it, sis.
Mhm.
They put me on this mission.
Right.
I did not go. You know, when I sat in front of my godfather,
Mm.
this is what they told me I was going to do.
Mm.
They actually didn't give me the details. They don't give you the details. They send you on a goose chase.
Mm.
And that's what I've been on, a goose chase. Because honestly, I mean, I didn't just make this stuff up because I remember they gave me Bitcoin way back and I treated it like it was nothing. You know what I mean? But the value I saw came over the years and the journey of getting to me where I am.
Absolutely.
It took me that long. And I was like, well, dang, it's going to take me that long to take it to the people that long. What the heck? It took me that long. It is going to be a long-term game. But guess what? When they turn stuff off and they flip the switch, that's when everybody gets scared. It happened all throughout the year. Spirit would show it to me. Every time something was about to hit the thing, everybody's calling me. Why is my phone ringing off the hook? Where's Guapoin? Okay, what do I got to do? I got to learn about this crypto stuff because I know how our folks are. You know, we late to the party.
Right.
We're late to the party. And this is the thing. You definitely have to learn that there are things that you take with you, and that's your spirit, right? That's what you take.
Absolutely.
Nothing else. Nothing else. You don't take anything else. You can create a whole new monetary system, and people need to know this
Mhm.
because it's not going to stop with Guapoin. Other people are going to build on the chain. Other people are going to create other currencies. Imagine you having a currency representing your thing, right?
Mhm.
That everybody wants. This is how I teach crypto to the STEM students. I taught them about the Cardi B coin. Everybody, this was years ago. I said, everybody wants to go to Cardi B's concert. Cardi B turns around and said, the only way you could go to my concert is if you have my coin.
Mm.
Then guess what? They're going to find the Cardi B. Let me go. How do I get this coin?
Yep.
So she has now created her own ecosystem, her own
Yep.
world, and her own currency.
Absolutely.
This is the future.
Absolutely.
The future, you creating your own ecosystem, you have value, and that value is going to force people to be able to deal with you on your terms.
Absolutely. Yes. So before we get into the Q&A, because I know people have questions to ask, and we're also on YouTube too, I want you to just echo to the audience, to the world, what you are sharing so they can find you, connect with you, update classes that are coming
Everything
up.
black.
Everything black. Like,
Yes.
sister, we here for this.
Absolutely. You can always catch me on social media because I'm like Harriet Tubman. I still got to be in the plantation. So I'm still there. And trust me, I don't want to be. Is that people ask, so I tell them, I'm like, you know, people are bitching about AI. And I'm like, you're on Meta. How can you say anything about AI when you're on Meta?
Because they don't.
This is the same Meta that harvested your data and then took that data and manipulated what your voting choices were going to be, what your broke apart your families.
Tell them.
You ain't talking to some people because of Meta, what's online or whatever. You may not even know. Maybe that's why you're a loner in the corner somewhere, because of social media. So these are the same people that are playing these kind of games with you. This is why we need our own, right? But y'all are addicted to this, but you're telling people not to use AI. AI has been being used in this stuff since 2014. 2014 was the big AI push to integrate it into systems and to collect data. And then you don't just collect data. Now you can do predictions, which is what I do. Is what my other side does. Predictions with data.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the more data I got, the more I can predict your next move.
Beautiful.
Yes. Right. So it's built on predictions. So this again, so you've been feeding it everything. So they know the trends, they know where you're going. So some of us, we're gonna be like jewels that they don't know about thanks to spirituality.
Fact.
That they don't even see us. They just look over us. They look over me all the time.
Absolutely.
I don't exist some places. They'll never, whatever. They just underestimate me, and that's fine. That's the plan. Yeah. Wow.
So I just left 2 months ago.
Wow.
Okay.
They underestimated me for so long. It's about to get sick.
Yeah, that's how they do us. That's how they do us.
Oh.
Cute. That is how they do us. That's why they push out the low IQ thing and the this and the that. They're not smart and all of this. But Spirit told me and said, well, now you get to see all the stupid people really running the country.
Absolutely.
And you get to that spell is gone.
Yep.
You don't have to, regardless if you got a high IQ or a low Q, you can now get a high position at the Department of Defense.
And the presidency.
You
You
never
use
lied.
drugs, that ain't gonna stop you. There's nothing stopping you now. So that's what all of this stuff is about. But again, you do gotta, because back in the days we're so paranoid about them killing our leaders and they're gonna kill our people. Telling me when I first started WAP, oh boy, they're gonna kill you. That's not on my watch. I have to have just the ultimate faith in what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I got to. I'm married to the mission now. Where else am I gonna go?
Right.
I can't even go. I can't even turn away now. Where am I'm gonna go? Now I have to have faith. And if I believe in us like I believe in us, shoot, I know we could do it.
Why not?
Exactly.
So you're going to tell us about Everything Black?
Yes.
Yes.
So Everything Black is a browser. I'm about ecosystems and worlds. I build worlds. I even build metaverse worlds, but people ain't ready for that yet. I've been pushing it. They're not ready for metaverse yet. But we invented the metaverse. But that's another story. But
So it's not meta. If you're a socialist, it's not meta.
no, Meta stole the name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Meta.
they did.
All right.
Metaverse existed long before. That's why they got so mad at them, because they stole the name Meta. So, and now they got people in their minds thinking that metaverse is eternally connected to them. So that's just yeah. So that's just another trick. Really? I feel like we created it. I wrote a story on it. I said that we created it with the Wiz. Because the Wiz was a virtual world that was layered on top of New York City. That is a metaverse. So, hey, metaverse has been around. We're talking about dimensions and etc. Now we get to create them. So Everything Black is a browser, because the web browser is the gateway to the internet, the gateway to social media, the gateway to media. So what they are doing right now is they're forcing you, because they're consolidating media. Yeah. They're consolidating social media, they're consolidating media. And what does that mean? So they can control what anything is said and control the narrative. Right? But when we tend to live in America, we tend to think that America is just all powerful and whatever. There's literally other, like we think there's only Windows and Mac, but then there's other operating systems. There's flavor of Linuxes out there. There's this, there's that. The universe always gives us an out. We always have something. And so we had to build our own gateway to our information and knowledge. And that's why I built Everything Black. We have a Windows version. We have a Mac version. We have an iOS that I've been fighting Apple with. Apple targets me, will not approve my apps. I have to keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going, but they don't know I'm not going to give up. So I'm about to write a big old article, do a press release on how they target people and not allow apps in the App Store. And the only reason I want to be in the App Store is because y'all walking around here with Apple. But we could have a PWA, but I have to educate people that you don't need it. I went through this with blockchain. I go through this with this. with blockchain, everybody's like, are you on Coinbase? Do you know Coinbase really hates us? I know this man. Do you know Brian hates you? Like literally hates black people so bad. Why would you give this man money? And you're forcing me to list and put our thing in an ecosystem that hates us. And we don't have to be there. So I've been through that. So the same thing now. Are you on Apple? Are you on iOS? You in the App Store? And I'm like, again, you forcing me to be in this space. I'm sorry.
Yep, ask your question. Because we have to meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Bank
Yep.
emerge.
Excuse me?
We just had a new black bank emerge, coming in from the southwest. So would you consider yourself a black bank?
No, because that's not what crypto is. We don't hold your money. Your money is your money. But I did found a black bank called Cowrie. I founded this bank 4 years ago. I had relationships with real banks. What happened was when the FTX imploded, that was the big crash of FTX.
Yep.
My back end bankers pulled out and said we don't want to have anything to do with crypto. So I lost approximately $300,000. And that was another quote unquote failure. You know, I say failure. You know, you can't say that to black folks. It's like, where's my money? Where's my investment money?
Yep.
This is a ever changing landscape.
Someone like me, I can't afford that level of insecurity, and you're not going to get anybody to dabble around.
What level of insecurity are you talking about? Are you talking about $10?
No, we're talking.
That's what most people start with crypto.
All right.
Yes. And so speak about this is the problem that we're having. This is the problem that we're having. And I'm glad you brought it up. No one starts because everyone's thinking so big. The problem is you can start where you're at and it's consistency.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the same conversation. And to be honest, it's like it's drowning. Because the first thing you said is I can't rephrase what you just said, but basically you just said I don't have it. You do have it. You have $20, $30, $50. No, I'm saying
You
that
said I can't afford that amount of risk.
That amount of risk.
Everything
And
is
so
risk.
what risk
exactly.
so here's the question. What risk can you afford? The problem with black folks is that we don't want to take any risk. And the only way you evolve 7 years, 8 years into intervention is taking risk in faith. Else we're not going nowhere. Black Wall Street.
Right?
Let's talk about it, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had in 1931, we had the top black life insurance people. We are the start of the creme de la creme. We need to get back to our essence.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up too, because when I first got in, one of the people I was introduced to was Atlanta Life Insurance. What is his name? Right? And it's so funny, he was a 4 clubs.
Okay. Interesting.
So, and I happened to get them as a client, and I learned a lot about starting money from the bottom he started in a barbershop and built the first black life insurance company, the first real black wealth distribution ever from a barbershop. And I had to learn that Lonzo Harding, Lonzo, that was his name, from Atlanta.
I have no problem with that, but in order to connect with a community, which is the black community that has been conditioned by this society, you will have to be able to articulate some level of security where the individuals will be able to buy into it, or too much time to get lost.
But
No,
nothing
nothing is
secure.
secure. I'm not here to give you security. God is like your spirit. It's spiritual.
I want something.
But listen, you're talking about your money. That money does not belong to you.
Nothing.
They can come scoop that money from you tomorrow.
That's once again being metaphorical. To a certain extent.
Guess what?
Thank you, my
Guess
brother.
what? If you have a digital wallet, they can't scoop your money.
That's true.
They can't take that.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
Decentralized. wallet.
Decentralized.
Yeah, they can't take that money from you.
If it's sitting on Coinbase, they can.
Yeah, but
Correct.
if you have your wallet, like we have Guapcoin wallets, even if you just wrote it down on paper, they can't take that from you.
Absolutely.
It
not.
takes you sending it to them for them to have it. Nobody can go in your wallet.
Okay, yes, I'm very interested, ladies.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay.
Well, hit her up.
Right.
Absolutely.
This was actually the biggest thing about blockchain and crypto is the fact that you are your own bank.
I
Which
love
means that you hold your money. No one can, you and your money cannot part unless you wanted to part in crypto.
And thank you.
So
for
when
the
you hear things about crypto scams, etc., nobody got hacked. They sent money to somebody expecting something and never got it back.
Right.
So you become the owner, the banker. You make the decisions and the total responsibility of your money, and that does not exist in our current financial system as it is.
Absolutely. Because they don't have your money in the bank. But anyway.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. If you decide that you want to send $1 million to somebody, you could send $1 million and they can't stop you.
Exactly.
In real time.
On the block.
In real time, instant.
What
Instantly.
point?
And it doesn't cost a
Peace
ton.
and love.
Sorry.
So speaking on the Carrie show, I am a mompreneur.
Okay.
I
Nice.
have my twins back there. But
Oh.
speaking on the whole
Deji.
Carrie, I'm an artist, want to raise Best-I and definitely support Nicholas. But this idea for my Carrie frames, I actually call it I See My Money.
Okay.
I love it.
That's one of them.
He was excited. I'm excited.
Okay.
So yes, and I just opened my first store.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Okay.
Down there, so they're a little bit more pricey down there, but I do have them here available at Nicholas if you are interested.
Okay.
But just speaking on my twins, how young can I get them into
Go ahead, girl.
getting them involved with something like this?
Absolutely. Like very, very, very young. I've worked with children and crypto. If you Google one of the earlier stories they did on me on Complex, they interviewed my kids about guap coin. And my daughter at the time, she was like 2, 3.
Oh my God, I love
4.
that.
And she was like, and my son was like, well, guap is worth this and this here up against $1. And I think it went up to like 3 now, and all of that. So the kids, they're going to handle this better than anybody because they definitely can do. And then the thing is, the kids are living in this digital world where they like to play. They play Roblox and they get Robux.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Invest in those games too.
Yeah. They do these things. They do money. Yeah, my son right now, he's a developer. He started with Roblox. He works for Roblox. He develops games. So he started when he was 10 years old playing Roblox. But he saw the value, the money. He come from a money family and a money mama.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, you making money out, you putting in these hours, you making what you making, you know what I mean? Now I'm super proud of him. He got a great salary, So you got to teach, because this is the best financial tool to teach them, because this is coming where they are.
Right.
They're in the digital world.
And they homeschool, so I'm just like, let's get that.
Yeah, they're in the digital world. And to get it, like even right now, if you download the Everything Black browser, we have you post on the feeds. We have a feeds, like our own threads, our own X in there as well. So if you post there, you get 250 guap points for free. You just click claim, it'll go to your wallet. Your wallet is built into the browser. So I'm constantly trying to figure out how I can meet us where we're at with what we're doing. Constantly, I'm sitting here trying to hack into our world. Like, well, okay, we could put it here and we could put it there. And even you as a business to accept guap point.
Correct.
You can pass off. You can say, well, I would normally give people this 20% discount. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing a strategy here, and I'm gonna say 20% discount is for the holidays or whatever. And instead of passing that whole 20% discount away, you could say, well, how much is that in guap? You know what I mean? So they can pay, whatever in guap coin and get it passed off as a discount. This is how you start. Or you can have products that you're not moving. You know what I mean? And the products that are not moving, then you accept guap coin for that. You know, because people ask us like, well, how do you integrate it into just the same way we market everything? Communities used to have community coupons, community this is how communities function with their savings or whatever, loyalty programs. So you can put it in there, but what is the value of bringing it in? Well, now you're hacking into an ecosystem. You don't know how viral guap is going to be or whatever, or be accepted or this, that, and the third. Like I said, when I started and I was on TV, I've been on Bloomberg, I've been on CNN, I've been on everything. I'm shouting out businesses. I'm talking about people who are working with Guapcoin, who are using Guapcoin. You know what I mean? So this helps to... Yeah, so this helps. Number one, you know, like we have something called Guap Friday. Guap Friday was our Black Friday. So we asked merchants to take a couple of your products and put it in there, right? Just like on Black Friday, there are products that you got to jump on really quick or you're going to miss. So these are going to be, people are going to be scouting and looking for these deals, and they can pay with Guapcoin. But this is also advertisement now, because now if I come buy a limited thing from you, I got to go to your store if I want to buy, or let's say it got sold out. I got to go to your store now to really get it. So all of these different types of things that exist are ways that we can integrate it into the community and have the community using it until it ultimately replaces it, because it could. Because, hey, there are highly liquid coins out there, highly liquid cryptos out there that I take for payment. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says that they want to do something, will I take this? Sure, I will. It's funny. You know, so, and a lot of people don't really realize this and how fast things can grow. We grow things fast.
Absolutely.
If we turned around and we put our own community liquidity into this, it would be a wrap for everybody else. Because the way we get to, when we get proud about things, they'll be like, forget about Bitcoin. We only want Guapcoin.
It's true.
So Guapcoin is your coin.
It's our coin.
But it's what you
created. I created.
Okay.
So how many is available?
Yes, Blackity Black.
And can Guap be bought, because I have a trust wallet and I can buy different coins or tokens.
So this is where we are with the purchase of it. We were on an exchange for years, but of course, because we didn't get the adoption that we needed to get adopted, that exchange, first of all, shut down recently. So we're not on that exchange anymore. And I did apply to Coinbase. Coinbase had me sitting, my application sitting. You know what I mean? So I knew that wasn't going to happen. But right now, in order to be able to get into other exchanges, like she mentioned, Trust Wallet is almost essentially an exchange, you know, and those people are in the business to make money. So they need to see liquidity in order to be able to put you on different exchanges, because they know they're going to make money
from the transaction.
You know, so, and how do we get liquidity? By usage. We have to take everything step by step. We have to start with the community, because that's what all cryptos started with. And a lot of cryptos, they started with community, but they also started with infusions of cash up in the millions. Guapcoin did not. So people always coming to me and they're like, well, why you ain't where Cardano is, or why you ain't where this one is? I'm like, somebody put $65 million in this on the set.
Right.
And they bought the market. I not bought a market. I ain't got deep pockets like that. I've not bought no. This has been totally organic. And that's another thing, that's strength. No one else can say that. If you could say at one time when crypto was still a little bit regulated, they came after is a crypto called Justin Sun, Tron.
Tron.
Right?
Very
They came
fast.
after Tron. Why did they come after Tron? Because they was putting money in it. They was putting real millions in it. So that is technically not legal. Right? But now it's a wild, wild west again. So he got off. So I've been going up against well-funded projects that people with collective deep money have put in these projects to buy their market, to buy their price. You can literally buy, yes, you buy the price. When you list your coin on somewhere, you tell them how much it's going to be. They don't tell you. And then the next thing they want to know is, okay, so you got some liquidity, you got some money to put in here, you got 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, what you got? And it just so happened that the exchange that I was on, like I said, I've gotten so much graces from God, right? This exchange didn't charge me none of that. So people ask me, well, why? This is the perfectionism, Black people. This exchange is so hard to use. Why would you do such a thing? Because they gave us grace. And I can call them on the phone and they know who I am.
Right.
And if there's a problem, I could talk to them directly. You know what I mean? But these are the things, the lack of understanding, the things that I have dealt with. So there's another exchange right now chasing me down.
Okay.
It's very affordable. But again, I'm at the fundraising time now. Again, I have to raise money so that we can pay them and we can get on their exchange.
So which exchange are you on now?
Right now, we're not on an exchange. So we're in a community. So we're trading back and forth, or
Peer-to-peer.
people are selling. It's peer-to-peer, right?
Right.
We'll have a DEX next week, or DEX is another decentralized thing I've been setting up. And the reason I've been taking my time with that is because of the laws. It's a very fine law when it comes to a DEX. There are people who started DEX. It's supposed to be decentralized, but it's really not totally decentralized.
It has some sort of backdoor.
So if I'm working with money, meaning that, and now they consider crypto to be money.
Yeah.
They consider it to be money. So if I'm working with money transfers and I don't have the proper licensing, even though it's trading back and forth, peer to peer, I have to be very careful. And Aquarius Maximus has covered her butt for 8 years.
Absolutely.
With how careful I am with this money. I don't play with them. I can walk them. This is what's enabled me to go up to the Department of Treasury and sit with the Department of Treasury secretary. I've been in DC. I've been in the Department of Treasury. I've sat with them. I can look them straight in the eye and they can't go digging stuff and holding stuff like they holding on to Congress people right now.
Right.
They can't dig and hold nothing on me. So I have to be like very, very, very careful.
Is that the same type of situation that happened with XRP when it first started coming out as a coin?
XRP is a scam. It is a banking scam.
How so? Because it's going up in value too.
Scams have gone up in value.
Huh?
Scams have gone up in value.
Yeah,
I
bought XRP.
Yes, this is the thing, and this is how they lure. Black folks love XRP, and I know the astrology of it, so I know why they love
Yeah,
it.
but they used to be advertising at the World Trade Center and everything.
Again, we got look. You see all the scams that's going on right now in our government right now. Like this is open scam season. This is the thing. XRP is not a decentralized project. It's centralized.
Always has been.
So whenever you're talking about something that's centralized, this is no longer crypto blockchain. This is centralized. Somebody holds the wallet and the keys. That is what you want to avoid. Because centralized money is what we call securities. There's laws that govern it. Exactly.
But
And
didn't they win?
temporarily.
Oh, okay.
So when the government changes over again, then they could become securities again. And they're okay with that because the people who really got the bigger bank, they don't care about you. They don't care if it changes over to securities.
So what would you recommend a person such as myself that has XRP? Do you recommend?
Trade it for something else.
Okay.
Trade it for something else. I've told people if you're going to do stuff and you're not going to do squat coin, which I don't do anymore. I told them to look for useful technology like Chainlink. Chainlink is powering is the future oracle of money. So basically what Chainlink does is it tells everybody else how much something is valued, but they're expanding to other things like gold, silver, blah, 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 right? They have a token, right? So that means that if somebody is going to want to start putting stuff that are tokenizing stuff over there and putting it in their markets, they need their token in order to do so. So that puts the value up. There's lots of other things, but this is what I'm saying. You want to look for projects that have a use
case.
You want to look for projects that have a use because you know that this is going to be needed. The one thing I've ever regretted was Binance Coin.
Oh, yeah.
Because
B2B.
because in the beginning, that was one of the first exchanges we were using.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and you could not do nothing on that exchange without having Binance Coin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I had the opportunity. I sat my behind right there, and I was going to start. So I'm going to put $500 into that Binance Coin. Had I did it a couple of years later, it would have been about
it was good.
20-something million dollars.
Yeah.
And that was the only regret I ever had because I consciously was going to do that. And I don't know if the ancestors are telling me to do that, so I would have the money to do everything else I need to do. I don't know, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But nobody knew anything about Binance, but Binance was useful because it was a very popular exchange at that time.
Yeah.
So where is
Yeah.
it?
It's still
there.
I
valuable.
think I only did like $10 back then.
Yeah.
It's
When
still
I
valuable.
because I said, ah. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't know. Anywho, thank.
Excuse me?
Markets. I might not be saying it right. It's Margex.
I don't know. I don't know
I've
about
heard
that
that
one. I haven't heard of that one.
Ready to wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
Is-
Bitcoin stored.
Oh, you don't store money on exchanges. Don't ever
leave it there.
do that.
I mean, well, that's where it lives.
No.
No. But it's
No,
not
it doesn't
about- it's about
matter.
your
You
building.
don't-
It definitely decreased because something happened.
it-
Yeah, but it could. Yeah,
Because
but it
it
could. It fluctuates. But you don't leave money on an exchange.
So where do you put it?
You put
a
it in your
wallet.
wallet,
In your own
in
personal
your
wallet.
own wallet. There's a difference. There's a difference between
I
and
got Coinbase too, but
you don't leave nothing in Coinbase because that's a bank.
It's a centralized platform. Okay.
Right, right.
And that is what BK Crypto is here for.
Mhm.
We help educate people about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And so if you're interested in learning about how you can
Basic.
safely store your currency, your crypto, you can contact bkcryptocoach.com. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us today. This was lovely. Thank you for everybody online. We're sorry you didn't get to your questions. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just want you to close out with the IG, how to find you.
Yes.
Boot camp.
So everything black dot XYZ is where you can go and you can download the browser. You can download to any of these places. I'm a Aquarius Maximus everywhere, but be careful because yes, I do have clones. I am like Elon Musk out here. There's a million Elon Musk on the internet. There's about 1,000 Aquarius Maximus. So look for the blue check. And then also, you know, a lot of times if you reach out to me and you say you want to have a phone conversation, we're gonna have a phone conversation. That's gonna be the difference between me and these clones out here. You know, they now cloning voices, so you still gotta be careful.
Right.
But I doubt your clone gonna be like, hey, I'm blackity black. and you know, all this other stuff. You could test it. But yes, Aquarius Maximus on Instagram, on Threads. I am not on Twitter. Guapcoin is not on Twitter. There are fake people being up there because I took us down from Twitter.
Okay.
Period. I couldn't stand that at all. So I took us down from there. But we're not on there. So we're on there. We're on YouTube. You can Google and see lots of videos. Guapcoin.org is the website for Guapcoin. Pretty much if you reach out and Guapcoin, we're on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Crypto Diva as well. You look for the blue check. And if you reach out to me, like I said, I'm going to immediately talk to you. And if I see you, even if you fall in I check my other every so often, but I will talk to you. I will answer your questions. We have a phone conversation. You want to know how to get Guapcoin. You know how you can get in Guapcoin, what opportunities. We have validators. We have a validator's governance. So if you decide that you really want to be in governance, you could become a validator. And a validator is going to earn you crypto passively. That's like mining back in the days. So you get a validator, your validator is earning you guap in your wallet. And we have other people, again, that you can get Guapcoin as well. And we're going to be having this DEX coming out soon. We can get Guapcoin as well. And what else do I have? and I rotate between all the different things I do. I teach AI, right? I have a boot camp, a summer camp, children from 8 to 16 to teach them game development. My son teaches the Roblox part. I teach the other game development myself. And so we had that boot camp. I've been planning that all year. So that's from July, 6 to 11 every day online. That's $250. And that's covering however many kids you got in the house. So if you got 8 kids, they all come in on that same whatever. And then I have my AI agents that I do for people that my mother raves about and is telling everybody because I set her up with an agent.
Okay. Yeah.
So that she don't have to get me to do stuff. So she could get her agent. She's a power user. And yes, my mother is a power online website, all of that, writer, all of that stuff. She is a power tech person. So it's very impressive, I have to say. But my grandmother was impressive with the technology too, because she was with the tablets and the iPhone. She was 99 years old.
Wow.
Yes, and my grandma knew about guap because she asked me what's going on with guap, and she knew about it. So so we have those, and I have those classes. So that's like very important. It's very important. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about AI agents and stuff like that, but I wouldn't be here now if it weren't for AI agents now, because I got about 10 to 15 agents working for me. I got some monitoring my servers. I got some building my servers. Now I don't have to build servers anymore. Now when a server goes down, my agent can get my server up in 5 minutes, in 2 minutes or whatever. And my server can, and I have agents that manage my websites or manage my client's website. You don't have to have,
Digital agents?
Yeah, these are AI agents. So you could have, everybody knows the pain of having a webmaster. You don't need a webmaster anymore. You can have an agent. Tell it to do to your heart's content. Fix this, do this, add a page, Tell me how I can make more money. All of that. So these are what I build as well. And I do all of these things because this money goes into the guap ecosystem to pay server bills, to do this and to do that. So I'm not afraid to tell folks. It's like, I'm a tech for hire.
Yes.
Still, even to this day. So that's what I do.
Amen.
Yes,
Thank you so much. This is great. I gotta
wait. Before we finish, I'd like to say, because we're about to finish, what is one thing you want to echo to the world?
Oh gosh. One thing for a brain of so many things. So I want to tell y'all. One thing I always tell people this one thing, and this may sound very basic, but whenever you can support Black tech, people do not support us. They don't at all. They cry, this ain't good enough, or whatever, and they in it. But if we're not getting money from that side, and we're not getting money from VCs and all this other stuff, we oftentimes have to crowdfund and get people to put in little bits of money. I've had times where I have struggled. And there's always somebody I could call, and I don't care, beg, borrow, steal. I'd be like, I got servers that I got to pay. They're going to go down. What you got? And they're going to send me money to support me. But believe it or not, like I said, it's the hardest thing. And I've seen it. I know so many Black people in tech. Like I know so many people hanging on to what they're hanging on and what they bought, what they built with their own hands, ears, and stuff like that. So if you ever come across anybody in tech, ask them how you can help them. If they're building something, if they got an app out or whatever the case may be, trust me, they need you and they need something.
Thank you. Remember, Nicholas Brooklyn, Fulton Street. I'm forgetting the address right off the top of my head, but don't forget to support Nicholas Brooklyn if you need any holistic wellness items. And Community Cuts has done all this wonderful.
And if y'all need any tech stuff, like I'm the person to call. I'm gonna help you too. So,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We got it. We build empires.
Exactly.
You know?
Keep it blackity black.
Keep it.
So thank you for everyone for coming. And for those of you who are online, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then.
Thank you.
Be well. Expand. Thank you, goddess. I know. We passionate.
I know.